Soon, I'll be able to look into the night sky and see our work up there, with the Big Dipper, the moon, and the stars.
I got to see a man walk on the moon. My kids deserve to see something as inspiring.
It is huge, like a mountain or a skyscraper, but also huge like the wheel, the atom, penicillin, and electricity.
Из космоса границы стран неразличимы. И для того, что мы делаем сегодня, 16 стран должны иметь один такой взгляд на нашу планету.
We owe this to all the great minds that came before us, to Copernicus, Newton, and all the great minds still to come.
NASA and its worldwide partners will soon launch the first stages of the International Space Station.
There's a full complement of fuel right up until the last moment, and that gaseous oxygen vent hood will be retracted. They do have an opportunity there to hold once again. Chris Kraft, you can hold right up until virtually the last second, can't you?
Well, you can hold, no, you can hold down to the last 18 seconds or so when you go to the automatic mode, but you wouldn't want to go that far. They'll hold at T-minus 30 seconds if they have to get down to any problems there. Once you get that cap off and the APUs are running, you're pretty much going to go.
There's the gaseous oxygen venting hood being taken off. Big difference today between now and 1962. Read a piece in the paper the other day about Tom O'Malley, who has the ignition button that he pushed when John Glenn went into space, now done by computers.
Range understands hold time of 5 minutes, 18 seconds.
At T-minus 31 seconds, they will go into the auto sequence
Countdown clock will
start.
be holding. The Superintendent of Range Operations announcers.
Remove the hold in association with our engine 2 pitch and insert a hold at T-minus 31 seconds due to the range.
CLS copies and work.
Flight crew OTC, close and lock your visors, initiate O2. And on this,
There's going to be another hold built in here at T-minus 31 seconds. Chris Kraft, can you explain?
Yes, that when you get to T-minus 30 seconds, when you get into the automatic launch mode, from there down to liftoff, it's all automatic, and you don't want to push that button until you're ready to get serious about going. The problem they got here is they only have so much APU fuel. You don't want to burn that up. You see, it's the same fuel you have to use when the spacecraft re-enters. So you don't want to use up the fuel in that tank. So they probably got about 5 minutes of hold here.
There won't be a hold. They've changed their minds at launch control.
All
They're
systems are go.
Keep right on going.
All systems have been reported go for launch of Discovery. Less than 1 minute away now from the historic return of John Glenn to space.
At T-minus 31 seconds, the 5 onboard computers are going to assume automatic control of the shuttle, and they'll verify with one another, those computers, that everything is okay for launch and flight.
CLS's go for auto sequence start.
Now watch your
Discovery's
countdown
onboard
clock
computers
there
now
at
have
T-minus
control of vehicle
16
functions.
seconds, and watch millions of gallons of water
T-minus
released
20
to
minutes,
absorb
20
the
seconds.
shock. Just watch it.
T-minus 15. T-minus 10, 9, 8. We have a go for engine start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition and liftoff of Discovery with a crew of 6 astronaut heroes and 1 American legend.
Houston Discovery, roll program.
Roger, roll, Discovery.
That sound, 6 American heroes and 1 American legend. You can hear that sound for miles and miles around. You can feel it all through your television set. T plus 48 seconds, there'll be an absolute maximum G-force. This is the maximum pressure. Much much less pressure than John Glenn experienced in the old days, but an awful lot of it.
Roger, go with throttle up.
53 seconds into the mission. Go with throttle up. Put the power on. If you've seen a launch before like this, you know the next dramatic thing to look for comes at about 1 minute 50 seconds, 2 minutes in, and that's the separation of the solid rocket boosters. That's putting out that astonishing amount of energy at the moment. They'll be finished, they'll be empty, they'll split off, fly off literally, and drop to Earth. We can probably put a countdown clock up.
1 minute and 50 seconds into the flight. Discovery now at an altitude of 25 miles, traveling at a speed of 2,900 miles an hour. The next event will be burnout and separation of Discovery's twin solid rocket boosters.
And there they go. They're done for. What do you think, Wally Schirra?
That is really something to see. To see those things separate on time, and the photography we're getting these days has improved, by the way, in the years we've been watching space
Susan
flights.
still informing the crew that in the event of a single engine failure,
Performance nominal.
Copy, performance nominal.
Discovery could now reach the transatlantic abort site at Banjul. However, telemetry indicating all 3 engines continuing to perform well, and Discovery's performance to this point, 2.5 minutes into the flight, has been as expected. Discovery now traveling at a speed of 3,500 miles per hour at an altitude of 43 miles, downrange from the Kennedy Space Center, 70 miles. All systems are continuing to perform well.
You're now listening to the voice of Mission Control, I believe. Gene Cernan, impressions?
You know, when I saw that, Peter, I changed my mind. I want to go.
You told me the other day you didn't want to go. Been there, done that, you said.
I changed my mind. I haven't done this, so I think I want to go. I want to get in line. Okay. I really wonder what John's thinking now. He's just got to be, I can't get into his head, but I want to ask him when he gets back.
Norm Thagard, these first 8 minutes are the riskiest in this phase of the flight. Explain to us why.
When you're on a rocket, that's got to be the most dangerous part of anything. If there's something more dangerous than being on the rocket as part of a mission, I'd like to know what it is. They've already reached a major milestone. Getting rid of the solid rocket boosters means that probability of success, I think, has gone way up. They ought to do fine.
That's it. You, Wally, go ahead.
The solid rocket was not something I was in favor of. It's the only way we can do it with the shuttle. But the trouble with the solid rocket is you can't turn it off. And so if something goes wrong, you can have a real problem. But once you pass that milestone, as Norm said, you're back to what we call normal rocketry, if there's such a thing.
And while we're talking about the general way John Glenn might feel, I haven't talked yet today to our wonderful medical editor, Tim Johnson. Tim, what's happening now? We're under G-force, as you can see here on our downrange and G measurement computer here. How's John Glenn reacting to this? Have you any anticipation?
Well, I think any physician would wonder how the cardiovascular system is doing. That is, as a normal person on Earth would react, as we're reacting watching. Our palms are sweaty, our heart rate must be changing. I think the immediate effect that any physician would wonder about is what's happening to the cardiovascular system, especially in a 77-year-old person.
This is actual flight information you're looking